CBS News Special Report, I'm Maurice Dubois. The conservative political activist Charlie Kirk has died after being shot in the neck during an event at Utah Valley University earlier this afternoon. The 31-year-old was the CEO and the co-founder of Turning Point USA.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I just took about the video. We're just going to hop right into it. So today we will be talking about Charlie Kirk. So before this, if you were unfamiliar with Charlie Kirk was basically, I guess you could say, a political, I don't even know if I can call him an activist, but activist, right wing, and a very close associate of Donald Trump. And he's done, a number of platforms, things like that. I think Jubilee is the platform where people, debate each other. And he said a lot of foul things on there, but not gonna get too much into that. But what happened today with Charlie Kirk is that Charlie Kirk was shot and killed while doing I guess it wasn't exactly a speech because people were asking him questions, but shot and killed during this event at Utah Valley University.
The FBI and the ATF are among the investigators on the scene, along with local police. But let's take a look at that Utah Valley University statement. It says on September 10th, 2025, 12:20, it's Mountain Time, a single shot rang out in the quad near the food court on the Utah Valley University Orem campus. That's as Mr. Charlie Kirk began speaking at his planned rally. We can confirm that Mr. Kirk was shot. We don't know his condition. The suspect is not in custody. Police are still investigating. Campus is closed for the rest of the day. So you have federal law enforcement on scene. You have university police and local police. The FBI's Salt Lake City field office is there as well and responding. But there is no information now as to if there's a suspect that's known to law enforcement, where that suspect is, if a suspect is wounded, in custody, or otherwise. So we'll wait to see what law enforcement has to tell us. But that's obviously an enormous variable right now as the campus remains closed and as the country reacts to this tragedy.
Now, it was caught on video from multiple angles. Obviously, I cannot put the video in here because it was very gruesome. They say he was shot basically from 200 yards away, shot in the neck. And yeah, RIP him. Now, like I would say, I don't agree with his platform, but I'm not finna get on here and bash the dead man because that's just not what I do. As far as his shooter is still at large. They had put two individuals in custody, one for obstruction. Then they had put an older gentleman, and they let him go. So they really don't. I don't know how much. Obviously they're not gonna give us a lot of information, but at this moment in time, we don't know who the shooter is, what they look like, what demographic, any of that. I mean, the police may know, but at this moment, we don't know. This political shit is getting crazy. What's funny is he had just tweeted about the Link's Charlotte train shit that I did a video on, and basically was like, America's never going to be the same again. And part of his death is what he was saying, America's never going to be the same again. Now, he was saying it for a different reason that I don't agree with, but I'm saying in his reasoning, this political activist shit is crazy. Now, obviously, I guess in the past, you could say that, people try to assassinate the president, and that's really not as common anymore, at least while they're in office. Obviously, the Trump thing, but he was not in office at the time. But, so we do, stuff like this have kind of always been around, but it's getting very common. Obviously, like I said, we got the Trump thing, him. Then, recently you had the guy in Minnesota. So this political activist thing, I mean, political violence, I guess you say, is becoming a more common thing. And in all honesty, I think it will continue to happen. I don't think Charlie Kirk is going to be the last one at all, or even close to the last one, especially, and no disrespect, on the right-wing side. Now, I think the people in Minnesota were actually Democrats and liberals, but I don't think he'll be the last one on the right-wing side. Now, it is crazy that it did happen in a state like Utah, which obviously is pretty right-wing with the Mormons and things of that sort. But the reason I say that is because a lot of people, their first message is like, just because you have different views don't mean, they should die like that. And I ain't gonna lie, seeing him die like that on video is very, 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 very sad. And I ain't gonna lie, it got me, even though, I highly disagree with a lot of shit, well, everything he fucking says. But I definitely don't want to see him go out like that because it was very gruesome. But I reason I say it might happen more for the right wing is because the way America's going, obviously, we have a Republican president in office. We're getting a lot of right wing things passed with coming to bills and things of that sort. And yeah, you can be like, oh, this political shit should, in different opinions, shouldn't do that. But at the end of the day, you playing with people's livelihood. You taking people's insurances. You playing with people's retirement. It's a lot of shit with now obviously the Project 2025. Obviously everything on that probably won't go through just because, you still have people in office that's going to try to prevent things like that. But a lot of shit, like I said, is playing with people's livelihood. So I can, oh, and I forgot the political shooting. I forgot about Luigi. So I ain't gonna say I can justify people doing this, but you can see why people may feel that level. Like, Luigi was talking about his healthcare and how his back was fucked up and it was fucking up everything in his life. You can see somebody's anger and trying to drive them to that point. I'm not justifying it, but you cannot sit here and see how these people cannot get angry for some of this shit. Because some of this shit is actually fucking up their lives. It's not like it's not like people are just, shouting empty thoughts and it's not going nowhere. Some of this shit is actually fucking people's lives up. So of course, they might get drawn to anger. And this is what happened when people get angry. Now, as far as the shooter though, I don't know what demographic they could be. I mean, not to be funny, but they in Utah, so obviously they not black. For some reason, like, I just got a gut feeling like it's a woman. Like, one, I ain't gonna lie, the shot was, nope, I shouldn't get in that. I'm gonna just say the shot was crazy. So whoever did it had to have some type of experience with a gun. That couldn't have been their first time shooting a gun like the guy with Trump. So it was either somebody who probably had some army experience, or I said a woman because, people who shoot guns know women are just naturally, genetically set up to be better shooters than men. But I don't know at this moment in time who the fuck could have shot that boy, but he did not go out a good way. But yeah, as far as political violence, I think this is a trend that will continue to happen. How do we solve this? I really don't know where we go from here. I don't know how we stop this, but shit, living in America. But that's all I gotta say though. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I just hit that bottom video and we out.